Listen, we would hope so, because that would be very good news if we can back away from this very unproductive tit-for-tariff war that is beginning to negatively impact not only China's economy, but our economy as well. But I think we'll have to see how the talks go this week. I do think it is a good sign that China sent a delegation led by one of their 4 vice premiers, and I'm told that it is a full delegation of leaders with the authority to make some very tough decisions. But we'll have to see what comes out of it. Unfortunately, as you've referenced, this president loves to sort of make a grand pronouncement, whether there's an agreement or not. But if the 2 leaders were going to meet, at least in past administrations, the presumption is that some deal would have been worked out for the leaders to meet and formally embrace.
Right. So that being the case, we have tariffs that were imposed a year ago on China, and as a result, it's U.S. steel and aluminum companies have actually suffered. What happens now if those are lifted?
Well, one, it would provide immediate relief, not only to U.S. steel and aluminum companies, but as you reported yesterday, you have American manufacturers like Harley-Davidson and others that are the end users of these products that are now feeling the pain of it. And it's beginning to show up not only in their earnings, but they're having to make some tough decisions whether they're going to have to shift manufacturing to Mexico or Canada, for example, where they wouldn't be subject to those tariffs. And then one of the American industries caught up in all this, of course, are our agribusiness, our farmers, who are always subject to retaliation and are now losing billions of dollars of lost opportunity, not only in China, but because this is going on against the backdrop of the 11 other surviving members of the Trans-Pacific Partnership having put that agreement into force in January. Now we're locked out of that market. So I think you can see all of us, no matter whether we agree with the president's strategy or disagree with it, are hopeful that these talks will be productive and that we can back away from this war that's hurting both our economies.
Ron, how do you interpret the Chinese position at this point? Day by day, there seems to be another incremental data point out of China indicating that the economy is slowed. I don't know if you caught this article on Reuters. It caught my attention today that as of Wednesday, 129 companies listed on the Chinese stock exchange have reported estimated losses of more than 800 million yuan apiece. This doesn't get lost, I'm sure, on Chinese leadership, but yet does this actually put pressure on them, in your view?
Well, there's no question it's beginning to put pressure on them. China's economy has some structural challenges that they have to deal with. Obviously, they still are clinging to a belief they can run a top-down, state-owned economy and provide the type of assistance that they have done to both businesses in terms of non-taxation and others, but they have to weigh that against the reality. They have to move to an economy that relies more on internal consumption than just export. And it's a very tough lift for them, but it has to be weighing on them. And then we have to look at the reality that closing ourselves out of a market that potentially can be an extraordinary receiver of American goods is not helping us as well.